Hello and welcome back to Core Finance. I'm Matt Brown. I'm joined by Ryan Littlestone of forexflow.live. Down the line. Ryan, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Well, let's kick off. Let's have a quick look at dollar-yen. From a technical point of view, what's going on here? Are we going to break these ranges? How should our viewers be trading this at the moment?
I think we've got to stick to the ranges at the moment. We've got the FOMC obviously on Wednesday. That's the big event, followed by the ECB and Bank of England. We're going to get an expected hike. It's pretty much nailed on. You know, expectations around the 98-99% mark on the OIS pricing. So it's almost nailed on for a hike. The big question is going to be, what's the language going to be like regarding the stubborn inflation and the way it's not jumping. So regarding the dollar, it's going to be interesting to see. The hike should get the algos sending it up on a knee jerk, but how much that is going to be the question. Whether we challenge 114 and those recent highs, or those highs going back all this year up at 114.50, 70, that sort of area. That's the question that's going to remain unanswered at the moment. We always see that the dollar tend to get stronger into a Fed meeting. So expect a bid to remain in the pair for the moment. But if we don't break those ranges at the top side here, then that's going to be a signal that we're not going to go anywhere fast.
Before, obviously, you mentioned the Fed on Wednesday, Bank of England and ECB on Thursday. But before then, we have options expiry. And if we just have a look at the Forex Flow options board, looks a bit like a train board, although nothing is delayed, thankfully. What's jumping out? I mean, this expires today at 3 p.m. I should say. What key areas should traders be looking out for on the options expiry?
Yeah, this board, I'll give you a quick explanation. All the ones that have the numbers like 776 million and 1.1 billion, they're the options that are expiring today. The larger the size, when we get options that are around a billion or, you know, from 500 million upwards, they can have a magnetic effect on the spot price into the expiry at 3 o'clock. So it's a way we can tend to see if the market's moving a certain way, sort of 10 to 3, that sort of time, and there's big options about, then it's the option players who are pushing the market around, because obviously there's a buyer and seller to the options, and if the price expires above or below a certain strike, then either side wins and the other side loses. But what's interesting here, you'll note in dollar yen and cable, is that we've got what's called barriers. Now, barrier options they stay in place and only pay out if the price does not hit that level. So, for example, we got some big ones popped up in dollar yen, 114, 114.50, and a pretty big one at 115. So if the price stays below those when they expire, then whoever holds those options gets paid out. But what happens is that if they're big enough, they get defended. So if we see the price move towards that level, say the 114 levels, the closest one, we can see the sellers or the option holders come in and sell the spot price to keep it from triggering that option and knocking it out worthless. We've got one in Aussie dollar at the moment at 7,500, and you can see in the charts recently we've not got below. We've got to 75.01, but we've not gone below, and now we've bounced to 75.30. And what's happening is, towards the end of the year, we're seeing these big barrier options popping up. And as I say, for looking at the prices, it possibly means that the price is going to be contained below those levels or above the barriers wherever they're set. So for trading, you know, if you get a move towards these levels, they're worth watching, because you could get a lot of money coming in to defend them, and that means pushing the market the other way.
Understood. And if our viewers want to find out more about these details, are these available on forexflow.live?
Yeah, I publish these every day. This option board goes up every day, and you can find it on the site sometime in the morning. They're updated, obviously, day by day, and we can have a look a little bit into the future to see what's up and around for the big upcoming events like the FOMC, where there's quite a few large expiries popping up at the moment, because obviously it's a big volatile day, a lot of expectations. And so the option players are obviously a big part of the Forex market, and they set their stalls out. So we have a look at where where the market's leaning and where the options are, because it can have an effect into those expiry days.
And certainly on a day like this, where there isn't really much in the way of macro news flow, does options expiry play a bigger part in where the markets can actually move to? Yeah,
most definitely. Option expiries aren't something you can actually set a trading strategy on directly. It all depends on how the market is at the time. If there's a lot of liquidity in the market, then it's going to take a lot more money for option players to push the market to these levels. Mm-hmm. Let's take dollar yen for example. We've got a big 1.1 billion expiry at 113. The current price is 113.38, so we're not too far away. And if liquidity isn't too heavy today, then what we might see later on into 1500 hours is the market, depending on where we are, the market gravitate towards that level. And then what we can see is the option players, bidding it and selling it and trying to get that price either above 113 or below 113 on 1500, so then it expires in their favour. Now, what I use as a trading strategy is I see if we get these big option moves, if it moves the market out of sync with the intraday trend. So, for example, let's say dollar yen's been really strong today. It's really well bid, but 10 to 3 we see it suddenly dive to 113. That to me signals it's an option play. Mm-hmm. That's kicked it out of this dollar strength trend. So then I'm more inclined to think, well, maybe I'll have a little buy in dollar yen around 113 to see once the option trading's finished, we resume and go back up again. So that's the sort of trades I look at, but it all depends on the market conditions.
Good stuff. Well, certainly one to look out for if you're trading the FX markets today. Ryan, in the meantime, thank you very much for joining us. Very insightful. And we look forward to catching up with you very soon on Core Finance.
Thank you.